Imagine standing on the shores of the island of Salamis in the dead of night. It is September in the year 480 BC. The Aegean Sea usually reflects the cold light of the stars, but tonight the water is bleeding red. Look across the narrow strait towards the mainland. There, on the high rock that touches the clouds, the heart of Western civilization is burning. The Acropolis of Athens is dying. This is not the white marble ruin you see on postcards today. This is a tragedy that nearly erased history before it even began. To the Greeks watching from their ships, this was not just a fire, it was the funeral pyre of their gods. To understand the magnitude of this loss, we must walk through the city before the first torch was lit. Forget the orderly white columns you know. The Athens of 480 BC is a chaotic, organic labyrinth. We move through the winding, unpaved streets of the residential districts. Look at the houses. They are humble, constructed of unbaked mud bricks with timber frames and roofs of terracotta tiles. There are no grand marble facades here. The city is brown and dusty, smelling of the fish brought up from the port and wood smoke from the kilns. We pass through the Keramikos, the potter's quarter. Here, craftsmen are firing the famous black figure and red figure vases that will one day fill the museums of the world. The air is thick with soot and creative energy. We enter the Agora, the beating heart of public life. It is not yet the monumental square of later centuries, but an open, dusty space marked by the simple altar of the 12 gods. But the true jewel looms above us. We begin the ascent to the Acropolis. As we pass through the massive gateway, the visual shock is intense. Here stands the Hecatompedon, the 100-foot temple, and the old temple of Athena. Modern eyes are used to bare white marble, but these structures are a riot of color. We call this polychromy. Look closely at the pediments. They are not white. The limestone sculptures of lions tearing into bulls are painted in vibrant, saturated hues. Deep indigo blues, blood reds, and ochre yellows cover every surface. The columns are covered in stucco and painted. The eyes of the statues are inlaid with crystal and glass, giving them a terrifyingly lifelike gaze. This is not a cold monument. It is a vibrant, almost hallucinating house for the divine. But a storm is gathering in the east. That storm has a name: Xerxes, the King of Kings. He leads a Persian army so vast that it is said to drink rivers dry. News arrives from the north. The 300 Spartans at Thermopylae are dead. The gateway to Athens is wide open. Panic does not tear the city apart. Instead, a grim determination takes hold. The politician Themistocles orders the evacuation. Watch now as the city becomes a ghost town. It is an eerie sight. Families pack their meager belongings. Men weep as they leave their ancestral homes. The barking of stray dogs echoes through the empty agora. But not everyone leaves. Up on the Acropolis, a small group of stubborn elders and priests remains. They interpret the oracle literally. They barricade the entrance to the sacred rock with logs and wooden planks. They believe their wooden wall will hold against the might of an empire. They are tragically wrong. The Persians arrive. They enter a city that is silent. Can you imagine the sound of foreign boots marching on the paving stones of a deserted metropolis? It is the sound of doom. Xerxes establishes his camp on the Areopagus, the hill of Ares, just opposite the sacred rock. He looks up at the feeble wooden barricades of the defenders. He offers no mercy. He gives the order. Thousands of archers dip their arrows in pitch and set them alight. Suddenly, the sky rains fire. A relentless storm of burning arrows arcs across the sky. The wooden barricades, dried bone dry by the Greek summer sun, catch fire instantly. The defenders are trapped behind their own wall of flames. The smoke is choking. Some throw themselves from the cliffs in despair. But the end comes from the shadows. The Persians find a secret, steep path near the shrine of Aglaurus. They swarm over the walls like a plague of locusts. What follows is a massacre. The priests, who cling to the statues of the gods, are cut down. The blood of the holy men mixes with the soot on the temple floors. And then the final order is given. burn it all. The great temple of Athena is torched. The limestone cracks and explodes under the intense heat. The lead holding the stones together melts and runs like water down the steps. The magnificent, colorful statues are toppled. The intense heat causes the marble faces to crack, their painted smiles smashed into the dust. Even the sacred olive tree, the gift of Athena herself to the city, is engulfed in flames. From the sea, the Athenians on their ships watch their home turn into a massive torch against the night sky. But fire purifies as much as it destroys. The next morning, the sun rises over a blackened, smoking ruin. Xerxes has won the city, but he has not won the war. The sight of their burning home forges the Greek spirit into steel. A few days later, messengers return to the Acropolis. The heat is still radiating from the stones. They walk through the ashes to the place where the sacred olive tree stood, now just a charred stump. But look closer. There, pushing through the black crust, is a single green shoot, a fresh sprig growing a cubit in length in just one day. It is a sign. Athens will not die. From these ashes, they will not just rebuild, they will transcend. The destruction of this night clears the ground for the Golden Age. The Parthenon, the masterpiece of white marble that we admire today, will be built on the very foundations of the temples destroyed by Xerxes. It serves as a defiant monument to this moment of loss. But tonight, we remember the old Athens, the colorful city that sacrificed itself to save the future of the West.